Yeah, it's been a heck of a week. I know we all been riding, hustling, doing our thing. Hope y'all out there in listener worlds have been doing the same. But I think it's time we dive into a Shedtime podcast, friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in because Shedtime Podcast is about to engage in three, two, one. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shed Time. What is Shed Time, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shed Time's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shed Time Podcast.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Shed Time podcast. And your boy went and got to see some excellent Demolition Derby double figure eight racing over the weekend. And I gotta say, I forgot how much fun that shit is. Like, ridiculously fun to go watch. 6 rounds, like six, seven drivers per round, just 10 laps trying to get through the mess. And then all at the end, after it was all said and done, like 16 remaining drivers in a demolition derby, last man standing. What a wild night. And now all I want to do is go to more kind of small races like that with demo derbies because God, is that so much fun.
Dude, I
Dude,
miss
how
going to the
many
stock car
fires?
races.
How many fires do you see, Sean?
No fires.
No, really? Dude, every demolition derby I've ever been to, one car minimum catches fire. I guess maybe now we're getting further removed from like carbureted cars that are like in demolition derbies. And that's like where I think a lot of the fires would probably come from.
Yeah, fuel
I
injection
haven't
has
been a long
probably
time.
changed
Yeah.
a lot of those situations.
I
It's
guess in
like,
front wheel drive cars too. That's gotta suck though.
I mean,
Well, I guess it depends. It was a demolition derby you're at where you were allowed to only hit with the back end. Because
no,
I've been to some where like they you can't like head on hit anyone, but you could there.
yeah, no,
Lame.
you just hit everything.
What's the fucking point of that, dude?
I don't know. I guess safety, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, let's be honest, man. If you're getting in a fucking car and the whole point is to fucking crash the fucking thing, you're asking for it, bro. You know what I mean? So,
It
you
should be
know,
safe.
exactly. Cars aren't designed to do that. You know what I mean? They're designed to do that one time,
Yeah.
and that's it. And they're not even really designed to do that. They're just designed to
If
hopefully
you
not kill
crash,
you
you
if it
don't die.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the upsides, right? It's like it's not like anybody's taking a fucking good fast car into those kind of races and
Well, yeah.
derbies,
And
right?
let's be
They're,
honest, those guys
they're
aren't
taking a
getting up
fucking
above like
Tercel.
20, 30 miles an hour, bro, because they're
Yeah,
doing it in a small
exactly.
area. There's a bunch of cars, so they're only moving little bits. They're hitting each other maybe 25 miles an hour, which does hurt. You know what I mean? But also, these guys have put fucking roll cages in these cars. You know, they've got fucking all the other safeties because they're using them to race. And in order to race, you have to have safety. You know what I mean? So they've got everything that they need. And then after that, if they end up getting hurt after that, hey, man, that's just the price you pay to play the game. You know what I mean?
For real. It was a trip though, because like you hit the nail on the head with like a small area. Like I hadn't been since I was a kid, and when we walked down along like the track area, at first when we like walked by it, I didn't think that was where the track was because it felt so small. And then like I looked closer, I was like, holy fuck, it's like maybe four parking spaces wide. And like that had to be 50 yards from end to end. So like there was not a lot of room in there.
Yeah.
it was intense. It was wild. It got me to that point where I was like, not now, but maybe one day if I got dumb money, don't know what to do with it. Couple grand to take a car, remove all the breakable glass, all that shit, and then go smash it at the end of the year. Kind of sounds like fun.
Right.
I knew some people when I was younger that did that. Like this one dude and his brother were like 19-ish or whatever. And there was like a town that was, I don't know, 20 minutes like outside of like where I lived. And they, I think they actually might have won it multiple years in a row. And that's exactly what they do. They put like $1,000, buy a car, probably put 40 hours worth of work into it, and then they just go drive this car in the Derby. But when I was like 19 years old, I mean, that'd be the late 90s. So there was tons of like, dude, they had like an old Monty, they had like an old fucking Cadillac, and they would just like buy these cars that ran, but you would never be able to really get them on the road, and they would just do it. And it was in a bigger place than that, but I would say that it was in a wider place. That 50 yards, like that's a pretty good size, but I feel like it was more than four car spaces because they had like some like big like tractor tires that would be like set up in there. So like I guess so you couldn't get a straight run at people. I don't know what the whole course was or
Dude,
whatever.
we have two tracks out here now. I'm thinking about it because we have like the stock car dirt track, and then there's also the motorcycle track, bro. Where back in the day they used to do sidecar races, dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dude,
I
they're
mean,
pretty
that's cool,
wild.
but like that'd be crazy.
But yeah, dude, we used to go to those all the time, and bro, they'd have fucking monster truck shows up here, bro, when I was a kid, and we'd see like legit like monster trucks like Gravedigger, Bigfoot, like whoever was popping at the time, dude. And then they had to
Damn,
have
that's cool.
and then they'd have this fucking it was like a fire truck that was like that looked like a fucking dragon. It was like almost like a transformer thing, and it would fucking blow fire, and they'd fucking burn a car as part of like the fucking
Burkosaurus.
show. And then they had this big ass fucking like monster truck bus that you can go and like get a ride on. Like you can go down there and get on it and take a ride around the track in this big ass monster truck, which is pretty
Dude, I
sick.
do remember like that thing you're talking about, and it would like burn cars and shit.
Yeah. And then they had
That
like
would
the
like
jet
come to
car
like
where
the where the Blue Jays played.
they'd just back up this jet car too, and literally had a fucking jet engine on it, dude. And they just fucking fire that thing up, dude, and just burn shit.
Actually, there was a track that I went to like in PEI one summer when I came to visit my parents, and I went there to drive my car on the quarter-mile track, and they did a pass with a jet car, and like everybody would stop, and dude, it was
Nuts,
pretty
right?
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it was pretty cool. And I mean, I was 36, 37 years old. Like I wasn't a kid. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, this is pretty cool. That thing's loud as hell.
Oh,
And
fuck
watching it
yeah,
go down the
dude.
track was pretty fucking rad.
I've been to a bunch of different like racing type events. Like I've been to NASCAR events, I've been to the truck series races, I've been to qualifying events, I've been to drag strip. I've been to the drag like a legit NHRA like situation. I was actually a school trip, believe it or not. And I
Sick.
went for photography, bro. That was remember when I told you guys I won a fucking photography or like took third place in the contest? It was at
Yep.
that fucking thing. We went there to take pictures of like the cars and shit, and then entered him into a contest at the NHRA. And like my picture was like actually like up in the like NHRA museum they have on property as like part of like the winners. Like it was like posted up in there for a little bit. Dude, I wish I could find that picture, dude, because it was clean, dude. It was a picture of a fucking Harley going down the fucking strip, dude. Front tire, not even touching the fucking ground, and he is the only thing that is in focus. And I did it with a black and white 35 millimeter camera that I developed to film myself. And my at that point in time, one of the like things that I recently learned was like fucking like panning as you're taking a picture to like follow your subject to where you can get him in focus, and then the foreground just kind of fucking fades. Dude, it was such a sick picture because all you see is just like a blur of all the logos that are on the wall behind, like next to him, and then just him with this fucking front tire up, dude. Just fucking, it's so
Rip
sick,
it.
dude.
Uh,
And it being in
That's
black and white too makes it looks even doper. Dude, I wish I could find that fucking picture, bro.
yeah, that's dope. I didn't
I
get to do any
remember.
cool school trips like
It's on
that.
my MySpace.
Yeah, dude, I was just saying, like, I never got to do anything like that. Like, we would go to like the fucking Royal Ontario Museum, like, and go see a Van
Dude,
Gogh thing, which
I
I
got to
guess was
play
cool,
on the
but
field at the Rose Bowl, like as part of the band in high school.
I mean, that's pretty cool too.
Got to go out there and play the national anthem with their marching band. I think it was like USC, UCLA, or no, USC versus may have been Oregon or something. Not Oregon State, but
The Ducks,
not the Ducks. It was the
the
Beavers.
Beavers.
The Beavers, yeah. Dude, that was a crazy fucking trip, dude. Because like we weren't the only like high school band that went. There's like all these high school bands that went, dude. And we took up like entire sections of the fucking like stadium, dude. It was crazy. Dude,
But isn't that place like one of the places that has like 100,000 people can fit
Oh
there?
yeah, dude, yeah.
It's like one of the record fucking
Yeah.
attendance kind of
It's
places.
crazy, bro. It was huge.
Where's that at? Is that in LA?
Somewhere in
Ish?
LA, yeah. Somewhere in that LA area. Maybe I don't know, dude. I should know being from California, but I really don't go down there that often. But dude, did I ever tell you guys? Oh, dude, this happened on this trip. We had this dude that was part of the trombone section. He was a senior. I think this might have been my freshman year, maybe my sophomore year. Anyways, no, it was my freshman year. This dude
Pasadena.
fucking, yeah, there you go. So anyway, this dude Hugh, bro, he like brought like a backpack and shit with him, and it's somewhere along like us getting off the bus and getting to the stadium, he had found a dead bird somewhere and just fucking like threw it into his backpack and brought it with him into the stands and like was trying to like throw it on the field or some shit. Dude,
Why?
this kid was because he was fucking nuts, dude. This kid was wild, bro.
I mean, that's pretty
I think
wild.
he also at one point, I think he actually got kicked out of the band because he took a piss in the tuba.
What? Dude. I guess that, there's always an out there person.
Yeah.
Like, and
I think he ended up
group.
joining the military,
Sounds about right.
which probably
Why doesn't
did him
that
some
surprise
good.
me?
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, that kid was wild. Him and this kid Robert,
Like, damn, dude.
they're just nuts, dude. They would just do wild shit and just they were the kids that would like purposely do shit because we weren't supposed to
Yeah.
and didn't give a fuck if they got caught or not, bro. So they were like definitely the fucking troublemakers of the band at the time.
Which is the one group in school that you never thought would have that kind of troublemaker.
Dude, you'd be surprised, bro. You
I
think
wouldn't have
they're all
thought that either.
squares, but I'll tell you what, bro.
No, dude, if I
Maybe-
learned anything from American Pie, James, is the band geeks are not squares.
They're not as geeky as you think they are, bro. I'll tell you that.
They can be wild.
I don't
Well, I
know,
mean,
Chris,
I was
that
in the
kind
band,
of
but we weren't in
wild.
that kind of a band.
Yeah.
And like,
There's
I
that
would
kind
never
of
consider
wild.
myself a square. Yeah, I wasn't that guy.
Pretty dude, honestly, my high school was kind of weird, bro. Cause like it was like the drama kids were like the popular kids. Like so like the theater kids, they were the ones that were like really popular because like our football team sucked. Our baseball team, our baseball team was pretty decent, but like we didn't really have like, jocks running the school from what I remember, at least from like my era. It was a weird dynamic,
And it
bro. I
wasn't like
feel.
preppy people that were running the school.
Well, yeah, but the preppy people were all theater kids.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? Like they were all.
yeah.
It was kind of. I don't know, dude. I also missed out on a lot of it, bro. So maybe I just remember very small pockets, and maybe it's just the people that I knew, because obviously I didn't know everybody, but there was definitely a certain crowd that there were a mix of like jocks and theater kids. Like I don't
There
know, maybe it's
wasn't
like that in most
any
places.
quote unquote cool theater kids. There were theater kids. There was like kids that probably had some like street cred that might have like taken drama, but like they weren't like theater kids that would be like looking forward to the plays that get put on, right? There was none of those kids that were like they were like
Are you talking about
this
for
is gonna
me
sound bad.
or where you're at?
No, from where I
Yeah.
grew up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was like it was a
you were
little bit of
pretty
a mix of that, but
insignificant.
like there's definitely like even the ones that were really into it somehow kind of rose. Maybe it's just that I thought they were cool just because they were doing shit.
Yeah, but they
I don't
also
know.
could have been honestly when you were saying, I'm like, oh well, this is California. Maybe like more kids there have dreams of going to Hollywood, and that's like
I've
literally how my brain
Dude,
worked. I
let
was
me
like,
tell you
oh,
what, bro. There ain't many people that out of Victorville that you're watching on TV. There's one guy that went to my high school that's on TV. He actually played Snoop in the NWA movie.
oh really?
Huh. No shit.
He's actually a pretty big actor now.
Well, that's a claim to fame
Lakeith
to some
Stanley,
degree.
I think is his name. Might be
He's
wrong.
got the same name as Stan or
That's
Rakeef.
Lakeith.
Lakeef. Okay,
I
sorry.
think. I may be wrong. I can't remember off the top, but I'm pretty sure. All I know is that he definitely played Snoop in uh uh whatever the fucking thing
Yeah,
is.
Welcome to
what
Compton.
was that movie called?
Straight Outta Compton. Thank you.
Straight
Sean.
out
Oh,
Compton, yeah.
okay. Dude,
He's like, it's not the NWA movie. It's actually got a name.
I was thinking about fucking CB4 like that whole time until Sean said that. And I knew that it wasn't CB4, but that's all I could think of.
Shout out to
Like
Chris
the-
Elliott.
And Chris Rock, dude. That whole fucking dude, that was hilarious. I remember
It's another
watching
one of
that.
those so bad it's good.
Yeah, dude, I would say that actually. It was so bad, but it was so fucking good. Like it imprinted my childhood, man.
I remember there was an era of my life where like and this is again why I fell in love with Blazing Saddles. But like apparently for whatever reason they Comedy Central must have bought like a 6-month license on CB4. And so it would air almost daily. It was like just something that Comedy Central was like, we need to fill 2 hours of airtime. Fuck it, throw
Yeah.
CB4 on. Let's get our money's worth out of it. So I watched that movie so many goddamn times because of that. And like it's one of those movies that like again, very B movie. It's not like a well-made great movie by any means, but it is so damn funny the whole way through.
Oh,
And you
dude, it's
can
so
watch
funny.
it 10 different times and still laugh at it. It doesn't stop being funny.
You know what you just fucking brought back to memory, Sean, is actually watching movies on TV and then like 10 minutes into a movie getting hit with commercial break.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
Oh,
just as like things start getting going, you're just like, fuck, man, like it just started. And then like you get another 15 minutes into it after that, and then you're hit with another break. You're like, fuck, man, like because like they never really let it like run for a while, you know what I mean? Unless
Man,
it was
like-
like one of those like movie channels,
Yeah.
they would let it go a little bit, but they would also give you a longer commercial break, I felt.
Yeah, unless it was like, well, we would have had different ones, but I imagine that that's what like HBO would have been like, where there was no
Well,
commercials.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and
Right?
then you can
Yeah.
get those like HBO, Stars, Showtime, Cinemax, like all that shit.
Yeah.
Like started popping up at
And-
some point.
And you still had commercials that was just
Yeah, but it'd
after the
just
movie.
be
Yeah, they're
exactly
after the
it'd be
movie,
before
yeah.
and after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just have like 15 minutes of commercial block between the start of one movie and the end of another. Like, but dude, oh man, the other thing that killed me about that era is spending your whole life not realizing that there was more to a movie than you knew because you'd only watch it on TV. Because
Oh
like,
yeah, because they would have the TV edit, and then they'd have the.
yeah,
I
they'd
would.
cut like the last 10 minutes of a movie sometimes, and you wouldn't even know that there was this extra scene, or they'd cut something out of the middle because they deemed it not necessary for
Yeah.
the story. Like, dude, that was brutal sometimes. I can't remember an example like immediately by name, but I distinctly remember there being a moment in my life
Oh
where I
yeah,
was
or there.
where I was talking to somebody and I was like, that's a great movie, but I just hate the abrupt ending to it. And they went, "What the
They're
fuck
like,
are you
what?
talking about?" Like, yeah, like there's no closure at the end of that movie. It's just like stops abruptly here, and they go, "Have you ever actually like bought the movie, like watched the DVD?" And I was like, "No, like it's on TV all the fucking time. Why would I bother?" And they're like,
Dude,
"That's why they cut the whole like last 10-minute scene." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
you know what I really miss about like movies, kind of. They still kind of do it, but it's not the same. Was like when you'd get like a VHS or whatever, they would front load it with like advertisements and stuff for like upcoming
Huh,
movies
Yeah,
or
coming
like
to
coming
VHS.
yeah,
soon or
coming
whatever.
soon or
Yeah.
whatever, and just then the announcer guy, and then like how he'd like
Yes.
introduce the movie and kind of break down the plot and that whole thing, and like now you just get like just straight edited, you know, previews of the actual show that kind of like ruin it because it gives away plot points and dialogue and this and that, compared to like back of the day you just get the announcer guy explaining it and just showing you little clips instead of
Yeah. Guy would come in a world
yeah.
where everything has gone crazy. One man and one dog have one mission to
Dude,
throw the greatest party of all time.
you know what movie just popped into my head when you did that, just when you said in a world, that fucking wow, his name just fucking blanked for me. Home Alone kid.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin was in this movie. It had something to do with like books and like a wizard or some
Page Master.
shit. Yes, dude.
I can't
I
believe
just-
that like you started this.
You,
I was like,
you
I know
said
this
that,
answer.
and then just images of that movie just started popping up in my head, bro. I don't even know if I'd ever seen the whole movie, bro.
I must
or
have watched it when I was
it-
like 6, and I haven't
Dude.
seen it since, dude.
Early 90s, bro, for
Legit.
sure.
Like,
But for some reason, bro, you said in a world. And then I just started seeing clips because, dude, I just remember seeing that particular movie, like previews before a lot of the movies that I'd watched. Dude, that was an era, bro.
I gotta pull up some images of this because I need to show the world who's following us on video what we're talking about, because I know a lot of people that I've talked to have no fucking clue what this movie even was.
I don't remember the plot at all. I just remember
don't
that
either.
like, it had something to do with books, and he was like maybe a wizard, or there was a wizard with him, and
It was part animation
yeah,
and part
then like
live action.
Yes, at some point, yeah, and I remember the fucking books having faces
Because
on their fucking spines.
I had a stuffed animal thing that was this Frankenstein book in the picture here. And he had like a little book in the back of him that you could pull out that like told a little story. So like I know distinctly that I remember watching this as
look
like
at the
a 6-year-old or
cast,
some
bro.
shit.
Did you see the cast?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back down real quick so we can get to it. For live action, Macaulay Culkin, Christopher Lloyd, Ed Begley Jr., Jessica Kreischer, Brandon S. McKay, Alexander Kreischer. But then
Patrick
you have
Stewart,
your voice
bro.
cast:
Whoopi
Leonard
Goldberg.
Nimoy, Whoopi Goldberg, Phil Hartman, like out of control. Out
That
of
must have been from like the
control.
early 90s.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
1994.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
So
I was gonna say like Macaulay Culkin's my age.
the plot is a pessimistic 10-year-old Richard Tyler lives life based on statistics and fears everything. His exacerbated parents have tried multiple ways to build up his courage with little success. Richard is sent by his father to buy a bag of nails for building a treehouse. However, Richard gets caught in a harsh thunderstorm and takes shelter in a library. Despite Richard's protests, he meets Mr. Dewey, an eccentric librarian custodian who insists that he needs a special book and gives him a library card. Searching for a phone, Richard finds a large rotunda painted with many famous literary characters. He slips on water, dropping from his coat, and falls, knocking himself out. Richard awakens to find the rotunda art melting, which washes over him and the library, turning them into illustrations. And like, let's just see some like pictures out of this because like these clips
Oh,
are
they redid it?
apparently. I mean, I'm patently against that. I just
Or I
leave it
wonder if that's
alone.
like an AI generated like image. Yeah,
Yeah,
see, it
somebody
says
doing a
Dr.
Dr.
Seuss
Seuss fan
style.
style.
Yeah, because that character right there in the center is from fucking Zootopia, the little fox guy. Which, by the way, there's a new one coming out.
But like, look at this nonsense. It's wild. It's
Yeah,
inventive. He's got little helper books that help him through the whole movie. And I mean, this movie wasn't like a slouch. Like Sega Genesis tie-in game,
Yeah, there's a Game Boy game.
Game Boy. Uh, Earlier I just passed by it. Where was it? Where was it?
oh yeah, dude.
The OG Mega Drive. Yeah. What a great movie. And like a ridiculous plot line. Like here's a oh, we got a quick
Oh,
94 trailer for it.
oh, we ain't got no audio.
Isn't it
Yeah.
crazy that Macaulay
That's cool.
Culkin's
We don't
like
really need
13
it.
years old when he's filming that, probably? He looks like he's
Well,
7.
dude, he was on a fucking run at this time, bro. They had him doing so many fucking movies, bro. Like if you go to his like fucking IMDb and just look at the list from like 93 to like 95, bro. Or
Well, he
even
did My
maybe like
Girl,
earlier than that.
Home Alone 2. He was in Uncle Buck.
We can follow the IMDb. And Uncle Buck, there's an OG classic.
Oh, dude, I love that movie. I would watch that on TV anytime I see it.
Actor, producer, director. Ah, adding credits to his name.
Dude, honestly, Macaulay Culkin is like no doubt, dude, like has an insane story.
Dude, look at this, bro. First movie 95, but like in 88
1985. Like,
or
holy
yeah,
crap.
89, two movies, 92 movies, 91, one, two, three, a full show, four movies, one, two, and 92, one, two, three.
Three
Yeah,
and
when he's like
93.
not even 15 years old. Like,
One,
Exactly, bro.
two,
And then 94, another
three
four.
movies in an episode of Frasier.
what year was he born in, Sean?
The answer to that question is
80.
1980.
Yeah, so he's my age. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Like that's an incredibly crazy career starting at 5 years old and just going. Because like 1985, little TV movie. This was probably shot, edited, and aired all in the course of a year. But then like I look at these couple of 1988, 89 titles and like these things take time. So like he's younger than he would have actually been at the time of release when they're filming and
Oh,
making these
for sure.
projects. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
like 1990 is when Home Alone came out, right?
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so I was 10 years old, and I guess he would have been 10 when it came out.
Yeah.
But he was probably recording
Probably
or
like,
filming the movie when he was 9.
yeah, like 9, maybe even late into his 8-year-old.
I feel like at that time they were turning shit around pretty quick, dude. Because look at how many he did within that period, bro.
Because
Well, that
like
is
even like Home Alone 2, dude, he couldn't have been even 12 years old when he recorded that or filmed that.
Yeah, it was like a year or two after.
Because that's the Lost in New York one, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He did a
The one
third
that
one,
some people
right?
think is a
I don't know if
masterpiece.
he did a third one.
Or there just was a third
There
one.
was a third one with a different kid,
Oh, okay.
I
Oh
think.
man, I forgot about Richie Rich.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
dude.
did. That was actually a decent movie. Like
That
when I
was
was a kid.
94 also,
And then they
along
did
with the Page
Disney
Master.
had their own version of it. And they had that kid from Seventh Heaven, that blonde kid, play it, Richie Rich.
Oh, the younger son.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys ever watch that show?
I watched it mainly for Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Is she in that?
Yeah, she was like one of the son's girlfriends. That's the churchy one, right?
Yeah. I watched for Jessica Biel, bro.
Oh, sorry, that's what I'm talking about. Jennifer
Jessica
Love Hewitt was in Party of Five.
Yeah, Jessica Biel was the daughter. Was one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
daughters.
My bad. Jennifer Love Hewitt was in Party of Five. She dated somebody, one of the kids, I think. Now I'm questioning everything.
Who knows,
I-
bro?
I
That
didn't
show was
watch
kind of
any of those
wild.
shows.
Because, dude, it wasn't as like religious as people thought it was. It was just about a family who just so happened to be heavily involved with the church because the father was a reverend. But a lot of the shit that was going down, bro, was just normal fucking everyday shit.
Yeah, like teenage shit.
Yeah.
They don't make movies and shit like that and shows like that anymore. Everything's so dramatized. It's crazy.
Well, it's just because everybody's. Oh, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah,
I don't want to
no.
open that can of worms, bro, because it's. I don't know.
No, I'm
Well,
I'm
a
with
lot
you.
of that stuff was for network television when it comes to
Yeah.
television.
Well, not only that, but it was made for the masses. It was made for everybody to be able to sit down and watch. You know what I mean? Compared to like nowadays, a lot of stuff that's coming out now, it's like it's geared towards certain audiences compared to just all audiences, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think at this point it's just one of those things that like they found a formula and they've exploited the shit out of it until it didn't work. Because they were doing it then too, let's face it, right? Melrose Place, 90210, etc., etc. Like all of
They
those
just
drama
kept,
shows.
they were
It's
just
just
copy and pasting.
yeah. So now they have a new formula and it's this, Real Housewives, nothing but this interpersonal drama
Well, part of the problem
focus.
is too is network television doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
It's
like not really.
It's not a thing, dude. There's not like I think
Well, it's not as powerful as it
like
was, that's for sure.
Well, the thing is most people under the age of I would say probably 50 don't watch network television. Majority of them are watching streamers and those sorts of things. They have like Netflix, Hulu, all that sort of stuff. To where like I can't remember the last time I watched a network TV show actually on TV. You know what I mean? Like everything I watch now is either YouTube or on some streaming service. Even if it is a syndicated sitcom from back in the day, I'll find episodes on Netflix or Hulu or whatever channel they've got it up on, and I'll just watch it there. You know what I mean? Because then I can watch
Dude, absolutely. Like Liz and I started watching like It's Always Sunny, and we watch it, which I find hilarious. It's on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Like every episode's on Disney
Well, it's
Plus.
because Disney Plus and Hulu are the same thing.
And Disney owns
I just think
Fox.
that it's so funny because like
And Fox, yeah.
it's one of the most horrible shows that I could imagine being on fucking like
Well,
available on Disney Plus. Like even if it's Hulu and Disney Plus, it's just I'm like
let
all
me
the
give you
stuff
the
that
same
happens in this
juxtaposition.
show What's that?
Natural Born Killers.
Where's that available to watch?
That is also a Disney movie, technically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I
Disney
guess.
owns the rights to that film. If you're going to see it on streaming, it's going to show up courtesy of Disney.
Okay, well then
Like,
I guess that makes it not as strange.
I will say this, like that is an interesting thing when you get into like these multi-billion dollar conglomerates like that is like their hands are on everything. They know how to make money. So like I'll never forget when I was a kid growing up, Disney tried to sign the Insane Clown Posse. Well, didn't try, they did. They successfully signed the Insane Clown Posse to a record label that they owned. And the Insane Clown Posse released their album. A whole bunch of Baptist ministers and stuff from the South found out that Disney owned the label that put this record out and went ballistic, boycotted Disney. And Disney was like, sorry, we're going to terminate that contract. That was a bad decision on our part. Um, and they literally like they used the Natural Born Killers asset as kind of a point to counter what you were even saying, where it's like, no, like, Disney's, diversified, the movie Natural Born Killers, like we own that too. We own Hollywood Records, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then they put out this record, people went crazy and they went, oops, my bad. We're gonna back off that one.
Yeah, because like it's not like It's Always Sunny has like as much crazy shit as something that's like Natural Born Killers
Dude.
too, but they're just like the worst people on the planet.
Yeah.
And it's like you watch the show and you're like, dude, this is fucking crazy. Like, and I'm watching it on Disney Plus. Oh, what a fucking great
Well,
show, though.
technically, you're watching it on Hulu, but since Disney owns Hulu,
No, I know, but like when you
I
go
know.
onto the app, it's just like, if I was like, oh yeah, go ahead, Johnny, go watch fucking Toy Story 2. It's on Disney Plus. They could just scroll down and it's like right there. But then
Well-
again, so in Natural Born Killers, I guess.
well, it's like that on any streaming service. You can go to fucking Netflix and damn near find porn, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and like I mean, obviously you can set up things so like
Exactly.
children can't find these
Exactly.
things, but
That's why you
Hey,
set
you
them up with
know,
their own profile. And then and be like,
that's
all right, if you're gonna watch, you gotta switch to your fucking profile. That way, da, 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 da.
getting back to like a nostalgic thing with all that in mind. Do you guys remember the age of the parental lock
Oh, yeah,
software on
dude.
computers when like that shit was on everything and now like it's baked into a lot of stuff and parents don't even bother to look for it
Mm-mm.
like because you're
my
absolutely
parents
right
were always
like
so clueless that like, dude, when it came to the internet, man, my parents never had a clue. Like I could do whatever I wanted to. They would never have known. I actually
Oh,
remember being like 13 years old or whatever, running Napster on my computer, screaming upstairs because we had cable internet, and screaming upstairs and be like, all right, mom, I'm gonna start downloading the song right now. And then I'll tell you when it's done. And I'd be like, I'm starting. It's done. And then I'd be like so pumped. And my mom never even thought like, is what he's doing illegal? Like she's like, he's downloading tons of music and he's enjoying himself. Like it was not even a thing.
well yeah that's another great point right like that back then nobody even thought about the ramification like this is technically digital theft.
100%. Like later, when there was like the Metallica stuff and everything, I remember my dad asked me, he's like, did you ever do that shit? I'm like, hell yeah, I did, dude. I probably had gigs and gigs and gigs of fucking downloaded music that I
hell
got
yeah, I did,
exactly
dude.
from Napster. You know what I mean?
The thing though, right? And this is something I found really interesting because I've watched documentaries about the weirdest shit, including that whole Napster era. Like the big issue at the beginning wasn't even that like somebody had a copy of Metallica's Black Album and they were sharing it on the internet. Like they didn't care about that. The issue is that somebody at their record label stole the early recordings of a new album and leaked that whole new album on Napster. And that's why they were bullshit. And it turns out that in the early days of Napster, there was actually a ring of organized CD thieves working out of a CD pressing plant in the South United States that were systematically smuggling out new albums before they would actually get released in stores and releasing them on streaming or those peer-to-peer networks like LimeWire and Napster.
Yeah.
And it actually ended up coming down to this like circle of like no more than 10 people who were basically responsible for like 90% of the music leaks like that back in that era.
Dude, not gonna lie, like being alive and utilizing and like having the ability to go and do shit in that era was amazing.
Dude,
Because I
how
just
sick was
every
that,
time,
right?
dude, I just remember being there. I'd be like, I would literally just ask my brother, I'd be like, tell me a song. I'll see if I can find it. He'd tell me it, I'd find it. We'd be listening to it like 20 seconds later, dude. And that was in like 1994. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like we were using like a Pentium 100, but we had cable internet because we like lived close enough to Toronto that we had all like the best shit. And dude, I could download movies so fast because at the time, like almost nobody had fucking home computers. And sure as shit, there wasn't a lot of people using fucking cable like internet. So like I could download a movie. I get home from school and I'd be like, I'm gonna watch a movie and I'm gonna watch it before dinner time. And so I'd go downstairs, I'd queue it up, and then I'd go probably outside and like find some way to sneak a cigarette somewhere close to home. And then I'd go back home and watch the fucking movie because it'd be downloaded. Like it was unreal, dude.
That was that same era too with of all the mislabeled music. And so like you'd go searching for a band that you love
Oh,
and it
dude,
would
I
be
can't
some
count.
completely wrong
Dude, that would
band.
happen with movies too. Like, let's be
Yep.
honest, that happened with movies.
This isn't Saving Private Ryan. This is Saving Ryan's Privates.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like those kinds of things happen. I also would find sometimes like it'd be like a really popular movie, and then it'd be like some I don't even know if it would be like a real movie or something. It would be like some file that would like have a movie, but it was like a C movie. And like it would just get them plays. And then people would like look it up and it would get traction. Like even like shit like that used to fucking happen, man.
Yeah, because Lord knows there were a lot of like bootleg movies at that time where they were like, oh, hey, this is a popular movie. We're just going to completely readapt that movie and remake it with a different name.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that that would happen. Or you just like be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking download The Lion King because it was a hot fucking item in like the early 90s. And you just get some like random normal movie and you'd be like, what the fuck?
This isn't The Lion King. This is
Yeah,
The
but like
Last
so many
Stand.
people would be searching for it, right? They'd actually get it out there. It was fucking, dude, it was crazy times. Early
Oh,
internet
man.
days were crazy. Like, and
Oh,
to me, early internet times is like in the early 90s. I know that the
yeah,
internet was out before that, but
like the
once we got to like,
GeoCities,
yeah,
Alta
like when we got
Vista
away from like
era.
message boards and shit, and there was like actual websites you could go to, and there was like programs that could like share files, like, dude, it was fucking cool.
Yeah, I remember learning to use like FTP and shit like that when I was a kid because like I started it like Windows 3.1 if I remember correctly. And it was still like, the DOS era, so you still had to like actually launch Windows through DOS first if you wanted to use that operating system. And then like I remember growing up with all of it as it would just rapidly change. Like I too remember being one of the first kids in the neighborhood to have cable internet, and like all my friends would have DSL, and we'd have this cable internet, and the DSL to dial up difference was amazing to begin with.
Yeah,
Five
yeah,
minute
no, it
song
was
took
like
5 minutes to download,
30 times the speed.
you know? But then you're right. When we first got cable and it was like that 5 minute song was like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like, what? What? I could download a whole album in less than a minute?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. And I mean, I was always listening to punk music even back then. So like I would be
Yeah, so the
downloading a
songs were
2 minute,
short.
20-second song. It'd be like fucking 3 clicks and you're fucking there.
Dude,
But dude, that actually reminds me so much of like that time. Like I feel like it's hard for James because like he probably remembers some of these things, but not really. But everybody knows ICQ because ICQ is still around like past 2000. But MIRC, dude, I remember like
oh,
back in the day using MIRC, which was just like it
Merc
was like
chats,
Discord.
bro.
It was kind of like Discord-esque. And yeah, just going into like Merc chats, dude. Like I used to go into like music Merc chats like all the time. Like
Dude,
that's
that's
like, and dude,
crazy.
I found some of my favorite bands early because of like MRC. I'd just go in like a punk channel, and, like I'd find out about something. It'd be like 1995, and I'd be like in there grinding, just trying
Yo,
to find more beats on good music. Because then
it's
you'd
wild.
instantly download it on Napster. You'd be like,
Yep.
"Oh, this is good. This is fucking amazing."
I did the exact same thing in those exact same rooms, and it's wild to think that like there's a possibility that we as young people were in the same Merc chat group at one point, just kind of like trading things back and forth, learning from the same kind of people, like what to go check out. Because I did the exact same thing. There were a handful of those communities that I was like super active in, and you're talking about it. I'm literally having flashbacks of like I'd have the Winamp player running because I was too cool to just use
Yeah.
Windows Media Player. So I'd
Oh,
have
dude.
the cool
Of
ass Winamp
course you had
playing my
Winamp.
MP3s with my
Dude, you could
cool
get
ass
all the different
skin.
skins.
Yep.
Yes, dude.
Or you could custom make them, which was even
Do you think
better.
that Winamp still exists?
I still have it. Yes, it
Okay,
does.
so then it does.
I not on this current computer because obviously I got this one very recently. Well, within the last 6 months to a year. But my old computer, I have Winamp on that because Winamp is one of the few media players out there that can read lossless audio files, and it sounds crazy. But here we are getting a little bit nostalgic about these kind of things, right? Like music is a big thing to me. And when you can have a lossless audio version of an album and you can play the MP3 version of it also, and you can hear the difference in clarity and crispness from all the different, from the compression in the MP3, it's pretty crazy. I understand why there's a whole subset of music fans out there who are like, if I'm listening to digital music, it's going to be with lossless audio. Because, like, there are songs that people have heard on vinyl or cassette or even CD that when they hear them on Spotify, certain notes and instruments are missing because of that compression.
Well, not only that, but I heard that Spotify actually compresses the audio like on the back end
Oh,
on a
100%
lot
they
of their
do.
stuff.
When I edit our podcast, I edit this show to compensate for that because I know it's going to happen. So like I have to edit it in such a way that when it gets compressed again by Spotify and all the other streaming platforms, that it still sounds clean and crisp. When you hear the like version on my computer I edit, it sounds a little bit sharper than when you hear it streamed on Spotify by design. It's pretty wild. Like I'm still learning the ins and outs of that in the music mixing realm, uh, as evidenced with the guys over there at Jackie Chan Fan Club. Like we are still fine tuning exactly how to counterbalance that in music production. For us, like I know there's countless artists out there who've got it figured out now. But it's like it's wild. If you remove Spotify volume normalization, which is a feature buried deep in the settings, uh, and you listen to different bands, it's really interesting to hear how like one album will feel like it's properly the right volume, and then a whole other album will just drop because of that. It's crazy.
Can you imagine like all the people that put so much time, so much like energy into creating a perfect sound for them to upload it or it gets uploaded to Spotify and then nobody gets to experience the vibe that they're really creating with like all those little nuances and all that stuff. That's actually a pretty sad aspect of Spotify.
I
I
think
guess even just digital music in general, but
a place that might be most evident is probably electronic music, because with the depth and diversity of electronic music and the production that goes into it, I would imagine if you have a song that you love from a DJ and you're listening to it on Spotify, and then you go and you experience it live in a club, I'll bet you anything there are elements to that song you never knew were there because it just gets so crushed in that compression process. And it's a shame. I mean, the other crazy thing, like talking about audio stuff like that, is how so many of our headphones are bass boosted now. So it's all low end. Try listening to a podcast on, some average headphones, and anybody with bass in their voice is just super bassy, and all your high ends are just kind of muddied out. It's crazy. Everything is just optimized to listen to really heavy bass.
I kind of
dude,
like the headphones that I've been wearing lately because like they have like three different settings to them to where I can have a clear setting to where it's just clear straight whatever the audio is,
The
that's what
clean,
you get.
proper audio.
And then it's got a
Yes.
flat to where like kind of like I don't know. I've never really used it, so I don't know. And then it's got a bass, obviously. But dude, the clear I use for when I'm listening to podcasts and it makes everybody sound super crisp and clear. And then when I, listen to some hip hop or something, I'll throw like the bass on or something like that. But
Yeah, flat's probably just their normal, like there's no EQ on this at all. See, like it's dope that
actually, I
those
guess
do
like
that.
that would be like probably good too for like an audiobook.
yeah,
Yeah. I've actually been listening to an audiobook at work, like while I've been doing some like work. Crazy thing
I'm
to
thinking
say
about
about
getting
work.
into doing that instead of just listening to nonsensical podcasts.
Well, like, so the only reason why I did it is because like one day I was like, man, like I own this like NFT and well, I own multiple of them, and their entire thing was that they were going to create like a world, right? And so they had like an author and this guy who is like an artist, a digital artist, like connected, and they'd been friends since they were children, and they decided to like put this out and they're going to create this world, and it's like a fantasy basically, right? So they created these like NFTs and like they're all linked to kind of the story esque of these fantasy books. And at the time there was no books out. Now there's actually three books out and like they're Amazon bestsellers, like they're doing like quite well. And I was like, you know what? Fuck, man. I fucking put a reasonable amount of money into these. Like, let me just check it out. I've never been a fantasy guy other than I read all the Harry Potters. Like, that's the only fantasy thing that I've ever kind of took in. And I've been fucking enjoying it. Listening to audiobook, dude. Like I had no idea, people will like read different characters in different voices, which took a bit of getting used to. I will say that. But it's been interesting. And I guess at the same time, it's also kind of interesting because I'm like learning about this thing that I've kind of been involved with for like almost 3 years. And so like I'm hearing these stories that like other people had already been talking about because like the books have been released and people have bought the books. I just struggle reading unless like I'm really into it. And I already know that I would listen to the first like 5 chapters of this, and I was like, if I was reading this, I would have already put it down. But now I'm on like chapter 17, and I'm like so invested into it that I'm kind of like, I see why people like audiobooks.
Oh, hell
Like
yeah.
it's you get to a whole new way to like imagine and digest stories that's
Did
way simpler than like reading because you can do it while driving. You can't read while driving, or
did
you could do it while
you
working. You can't read while working.
did you have those like story time things when you were like real little kid where like they would put a book on tape?
And then you follow along with the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's all you're doing, just the adult version now.
Yeah, but I don't have the book. But yes, ultimately I am.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and I think it's kind of cool. Like, I know I've checked out some. I actually shout out to throwback to earlier in the conversation. Things like Napster. I have actually downloaded audiobooks for some of my favorite books because I own them. I've read them from front to back at least once or twice, in some cases, even multiple times. But I was like, it'd be cool to just have the audio version and like exactly like you're describing. If I'm in a situation where I have an hour and a half to kill, this book is short, I could listen to the whole story in an hour and a half.
Yeah, like
Hell yeah.
this book is about 4.5 hours or something like that. Maybe it's a bit longer than that. I don't know. But if it was a different type of story, maybe it wouldn't be the same. If the guy didn't like read it, he has like a British voice, and like the author is British, but like there's a British voice, and if he didn't change it, like, and because like in it, dude, there's like elves and giants and humans and fucking I can't remember what the other one is, but it's like got like a goat element to it, but it's like a human. Oh, a carrot, and there's like all these different things, and like there's explaining it, and you're like getting all of the visuals, like and the descript like all the description of like landscapes and all these. Like it's pretty cool. Like I could maybe even listen to J.R. Tolkien in an audiobook. I
Yeah.
never could read any of those books because
Yeah.
it made me
It's
pull my hair out.
so,
I might have
yeah.
gray hair because I tried to when I was like 13 or 14 years old because a bunch of my friends were like, "Oh man, The Hobbit is so cool." Like, how on earth are you guys reading this? Like the entire
Dude, I have
fucking 3 pages are about a fucking sunset. Like, how are you reading this? Like, this is
for
horrible.
me, it wasn't even so much that like it's not that aspect of it. It's like I'm a terrible reader as it is. So being a terrible reader, trying to read a book like that has all those difficult fucking words, made up fucking language, Elvish and Orc language or whatever else that was going on in there until the movies came out and had someone tell me how to fucking say fucking Rivendell or fucking Aragon or whatever else, other fucking Schmeagol and all that other crazy names and shit that are in there.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a hard enough time reading just standard books, bro, let alone a fantasy book with fucking, shit like that in it. And then trying to comprehend it while I have to read sentences over and over and over again because I can't even remember the fucking what the sentence was by the time I get to the end of it because I had a hard time even making it through the thing to fucking begin with.
Then audiobooks would solve that because
My
then you're
reading's
just hearing
obviously gotten
voices.
better now, but like when I was younger, dude, dude, difficult,
Reading's
bro.
not that easy to
No.
remember. I can read fine, but remembering now, but that's like pure ADHD. Like
I've
that's
also what I also started doing as I gotten older too, I actually kind of got this from my grandma, is I watch everything with subtitles on most of the time. If I'm like sitting down watching like a show or a movie or whatever, because my grandma used to do it all the time. She'd do it without the sound and then just read the subtitles. Because most of the shit she watched, she'd see 27 times. Sure, she already knew the dialogue, so she was just watching it just to see the scenes. Dude, she's wow.
My
But
wife does that shit. She'll have the volume like mad low, and she'll
no,
just have the
she would have it
subtitles
just
on.
straight muted, bro. Just straight muted, subtitles on. What's the point? So I like to read, and I already know what they're saying anyway. Like, all right, grandma.
Hey,
But
it's a
yeah,
good
I
story.
started doing that, and then after a while, I just catch. I also would do it because I'd watch like food movies, subtitles there, and then my brother watched like a lot of anime and stuff growing up when we were kids, and he was the oldest. We shared a room, so he had the remote. What am I gonna do about it? Sort of thing. So whatever was on the TV is what was on the TV. Um, so I had to learn read subtitles for that. But it's honestly kind of helped my read because like while I'm watching things, I'm also reading and like kind of watching and reading at the same time towards like I comprehend movies and shit a little bit better now. And it's also just translated into I think also me being able to read a lot better than I did before. Because dude, I struggle bust through school, bro. Because I also think I'm slightly I might have some form of like dyslexia or something. Because when I write and when I read, I flip letters around, or I see a word and instantly just say something, even though I know that's not what it says. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do that all the time, and I don't know
We're
what
thinking
that's all about.
we're thinking about audiobooks too, and I had to know like, can you get comics and stuff
Oh yeah,
in audiobook? And yes, you can. Like I'm finding Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. There's an interesting one here. I don't know how this fell into comics and graphic novels. I'm curious, but a book by Tom Hanks, The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece. Tom Hanks got a book out.
Oh, and I feel like I should shout out the book that I'm listening to. It's called A Tale of the Nine Lands. That's what it's called. That's the first one. There's other ones. I'll have to get to them once I get through this one, but it is interesting. If you like fantasy, you'd probably enjoy it. Even if you don't, maybe you'll enjoy it.
It, I mean, audiobooks are sick too, because like you ever hear these ones where they use like actual sound effects to overemphasize things? So like they'll be talking about like somebody's walking through leaves and you'll actually hear the sound of like someone stepping through crushing old leaves, or like they'll talk about being at the beach and they'll put some like ocean waves, maybe a seagull in the background for a little bit, like just to add to the immersive experience. It In those situations, it almost feels like you're watching or listening to a movie in the background while you're doing something. Like that
That
shit gets
is cool.
pretty
I
damn
haven't
cool.
experienced that yet. Like I've just been experiencing a guy that does like girls' voices, women's voices, all different kinds of uh like living beings, I guess. Like all those kinds of things. So like it's been interesting just in that respect, let alone actual sound effects. Like that be
There
actually next level.
There are people who do that shit live, Chris, and it that even blows my mind. Where like they'll do live storytelling and they'll use like soundboard software and shit like I use to do the air horn here in the show. And they'll have like all these key sound effects for like the chapter that they're gonna do live.
Yeah,
And
like
this
they'll
way
do
they
a
can
bit of
just
prep.
Yeah, and this way they know that all right, when I hit this, I'm gonna press this trigger button and they'll get their sound effect that they want. And it's like that blows my mind that you could like somebody could do that. But I mean, it's out there, man. People do it as live streams now. Like there's podcasts that do it. Like my buddy listens to a podcast that's basically a Dungeons and Dragons game that gets
Oh,
retold as a story.
my sister literally just watches these people do D&D campaigns. Like
I
that's
mean,
pretty much their YouTube channel.
that doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't
Is
surprise me at all. Like
And I'm sure
I've
those
never
those
looked for
dudes are
that,
getting
but
views. Yeah,
probably.
I'm sure they're getting
Dude, honestly
tons of
though,
views.
I also feel like things like Stranger Things kind of probably like made Dungeons and Dragons more just like Big Bang Theory, I feel like would have popularized or brought them back. Like there's I, I never thought about Dungeons and Dragons. I'd heard of it as a kid. I had no idea what it even was until like stuff like that, like watching it in Stranger Things and like watching the kids like do a campaign. Like I never knew that I didn't know what it took to do those things because I never participated in them. But like I feel like it's probably gotten more popular since the success of some of these things that kind of contain it within them.
I think you're right. Like I ran with those kind of kids my whole life. So like my whole life as, an adolescent, young teen to teenage years, like I almost always had a couple of friends who played D&D. I never played it. Um, I don't have the love for fantasy and the imagination that goes with that to, I think, have as much fun playing that. Maybe if there were a similar style game with a whole different theme, which I'm sure somebody out there can tell me
Oh yeah,
exists,
dude.
that I would get
Warhammer.
into. Oh shit, you talk about Warhammer, yeah. Not my style, but yes, another game just like it. Um,
Um, I I never played like D&D, but I played games like it growing up because we used to spend a lot of time with one of my older cousins, and he's the one that got me into PC gaming, got me into comic books, introduced me into like a lot of different shit. Like he's the one that got me into like a lot of like the science fiction, fantasy sort of stuff growing up. And we played this game called Heroescape, which is a similar type of thing to Dungeons and Dragons, but it's like you have pre-made characters and like fucking figures, and you could buy sets to like upgrade your shit to build your different fucking maps and whatever. But it's the same sort of premise where you create a character, you give them certain attributes and that sort
oh
of thing, and
shit.
based off those is how the game runs or whatever. So I've had like experiences with it, but I never got into because Dungeons and Dragons is a little bit more in depth, bro. It's like deep, deep.
It's
Like
deep,
But yeah,
dude.
I played this, bro.
yeah,
Heroescape.
like you said that I was like, I need to see what this looks like, and like I
It's
think
pretty
like
much the same thing as Dungeons and Dragons, but you could buy sets that have like stories that you can play, or you can create your own based off of sets that
yeah,
you
like
collect.
you got all sorts of little different like terrains and everything to
Yeah.
build up your fortifications, like
He had
this
a pretty legit setup, dude. Like it would take up his entire kitchen table, bro. And it
this shit
we
feels like real-time strategy game, but a board game,
yeah. Because
you
what we did
know?
is we used the Heroescape pieces, but we didn't see how that scroll up a little bit, Sean. You see the card right there next to where your cursor is? They would come with cards like this that would tell you like what your attack like to where it's like you didn't have like if you wanted to you could play with the cards and it pretty much tells you everything that's going on, so it's not as much in depth or much thought that you
Yeah,
have to
so
put
you could
into
do
it.
like a Magic the Gathering style play style. or
Well,
you
not
could
even
go all
so
the
much
way
that.
in.
It's just like you pick your character, and then whatever character you pick, you get his card, and it's already built for you. Your character's already built. Like it already tells you what your defense, your attack, your range, your movement is, what your different attributes or skills you may have, and that sort of thing. Compared to Dungeons and Dragons, to where you literally build your character from giving him a name to how he looks to how he talks to, everything about him, his backstory, all that sort of stuff. And then you build on that character as the story goes to where like this, it's pretty much laid out for you. And all you do is you show up and you play the game compared to Dungeons and Dragons, where there's a little bit of forethought beforehand. Not only that, but whoever's the DM, the dungeon master who's running the game, they have a lot more that goes with it because they're literally creating the story that you're going to play. And based on, however
They
they
create
go.
everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as the game goes, they might make changes or this or that, or things might not go the way they want or that sort of thing. So games can last fucking days sometimes.
Weeks, years.
Depending on the situation. But with the HeroScape, it's a little bit, you could play a game of HeroScape in a night. You know what I mean? Because it's not as in depth.
None of my friends played it with like the figures and stuff like this. They would do they sit around with the book and they roll and they just make the story up as they go. So like I honestly didn't even know that D&D could go this deep.
Yeah, well, it's evolved over the years, you know what I mean? There's different variations of the game now to where it's like you can almost go and buy a D&D set to where it comes with a DM book that's already got a storyline in there or fucking, what do they call them? A campaign already built for you that you could just literally open the box and play. Or they have starter kits to where it's like you have some things to go off of with sheets for filling your characters out, a book to actually build your campaign through and that sort of stuff, and also references and things that you can use to help along the way. But back in the day, dude, they're literally just fucking making this shit off rip, dude, just off the top of their head, you know what I mean?
That's how all my friends did. Is like they had like the dungeon master had a spiral bound notebook.
Yep.
And he kept track of everything that happened in the story. And
dude, there's people that
moved.
Go super crazy, dude, to where they like literally have a full-on game table built for D&D that has the map for the campaign that they've built or created, built on this fucking table with the trees, the fucking mountains, the fucking and all the little figures. So as things happen, they'll pull out different things and drop them in front of your characters. Like if you stumble upon something, oh shit, this fucking monster showed up. What are you gonna do? And then you have to sit there and talk.
You better fucking roll your dice.
Well, no. First off, you got to figure out what you're gonna do before you roll your dice, bro, because that's gonna tell you what dice you need to roll and what number you need to hit. Like it's
enough. No, yeah,
it's in depth, bro. You know what I mean? So depending on what your decision is on what you want to do, will determine what dice you're gonna roll and what number you may need to hit in order to pass or fail. You know what I'm saying?
Your team looks at the dungeon master and says some wild shit like, "Can we try to seduce the monster?" And the dungeon master goes, "Yeah, fuck it. Roll a 27." And then they roll a 27 and it fucking works.
Dude, there's people that have completely fucked up campaigns by doing shit like that because they've either outthought the DM and were like, "Oh, well, they figured a secret out before they're supposed to and completely ruin the fucking game," or situations like that where they just say some fucking wild shit and he's literally just got to make some fucking shit up on the spot to fucking keep the game going. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I
feel like that would be my play style if I ever played a game of D&D. I would be the guy that just has to think of the weirdest shit as my response to situations.
Just to try to be like,
I feel like,
dude, I put this campaign together over 3 months, you motherfucker.
Part of me thinks like you'd be like a thief or like a rogue character, Sean. because like they're sneaky, they're devious, and like you try to see how much shit you can get away with those attributes.
I would be a false bard without a doubt. I would walk around playing my instrument, pretending to be all innocent, and then I would sneak up behind you and club you with my lute
Yeah.
and steal your shit. That would totally be my play
Dude, I
style.
wish I had my Heroescape notebook with some of the characters I created, dude. Because at one point I was a Shaolin monk in one campaign, and I had like crazy dexterity and like crazy fucking strength and stamina. So I was just like a fucking human weapon. Oh, dude. Those were good times, bro.
Yeah, I never did anything like that. I was just so outside as a kid that like those games you didn't play outside.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
we have a friend who we have a few friends that know D&D really well. And I almost want to get them on for an episode, be like, can you just like teach us the ins and outs of D&D through like an hour and a half episode? Like three guys who have only the faintest, foggiest idea of what's going on. Like demystify it for us. I'd love to hear how they explain some of that shit and like learn the ins and outs because like I hear about it, I'm like, I don't know if I could get into that. And then I hear about it some more, and I'm like, I could
You'd be
I could
surprised
kind
how
of get into
easily
that.
they could draw
You
you in,
know,
bro.
But
it's
like, dude, you
Because
could
when you're
not
sitting
even
there and you're
finish
playing
the
with a group,
campaign.
bro, it's like it's a group thing. The camaraderie, the conversation that's happening, everybody's involved in decisions
Yeah,
that
if
are
everyone is
happening.
bought in, then I'm sure it could be fun. But it also can, dude, it can take like a long time to like work through a campaign, right?
Depending on the DM, depending on
So
who's
like
running the
someone
game.
could make one that you couldn't even do in a long weekend.
oh sure.
Dude, there's some that I'm sure guys have that have been going for a year.
Like
Longer.
every week they get together and they'll
Yeah.
like do it for like an evening. I do know there's people that do that.
My
I feel like
sister,
I've met someone
my
through
brother, and my
this.
sister used to do that with my
Like maybe
cousin.
Nick Garrity did.
I was
Oh
gonna say
yeah,
the Garrity's are big D&D fans.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Nick
Then that's
definitely
who I
used
must
to
be
do
thinking
it.
of.
I'm sure there's a couple
Um,
other people we know that do it as well.
are you ready for this, Chris?
Yes.
Uh, Canada gets this claim to fame. The
Oh, goody.
longest running Dungeons and Dragons campaign is the one hosted by Canadian historian Robert A. Wardhaw, which has been continuously played since 1982, lasting over 43 years as of 2025.
Oh, there you go.
Damn, dude. Okay, yeah. So a long weekend, fucking it's a drop
But
in
you
the
you can
bucket.
also do one that you can finish in a night too. It's just dependent on, how you want it to go. But the thing is you don't have to finish. You could just stop and then the next
Yeah,
time
yeah.
come back and just continue where you left off.
Yeah, I actually learned that from Stranger Things.
Yeah. So you could
So there you go.
like these guys, they've literally been playing this same campaign for 40 years. So they literally just keep creating new storyline as it goes. So it's just one continuous story instead of each time they get together doing a new campaign, coming up with a new story. They're just building off of where they've the ground that they built and just taking it from
Yeah.
there.
It says, known as The Game, it features a continually evolving world with numerous custom-built terrains and over 30,000 hand-painted miniatures, creating a deep, interconnected narrative with a unique history and lore.
Because
Dude, that's
that's the cool part
love,
about
man.
it too, is like not only do you get to play this game, but you're also creating a story as you're doing it. To where, like Sean says, at a certain point, if you have one that lasts long enough, like there's literally like lore and shit that you can put into the game later in the years that references points from earlier in the campaign from years before.
Yeah,
You know
like
what
you
I
have a
mean?
whole history of this story over 40 years. just written.
or one thing that may have been mentioned 20 years ago that you forgot about. You can bring it back, fucking
Yeah.
10 years ahead of time or ahead, because you're like, oh shit, I forgot about that one thing. Oh, well, shit, I just bring it back here, and then we can follow that fucking trail for a bit, see where that leads. It's honestly like, I understand the hesitation for a lot of people, because there was a point in time where if you played D&D, you were considered a fucking nerd, a geek, uncool, that sort of thing. But all that sort of, I feel like those sort of stereotypes are starting to really fade as like years go, to where it's like, there's like a group of like Hollywood elites, not Hollywood elites, but like there's this big, what's his fucking name? Big actor guy.
Like
He's
actual A-listers and shit.
yeah, where like there's like legit people that go and play D&D like pretty religiously and meet up at this guy's house. Why can't I fucking remember his name?
Dude, it's funny you're saying that though. I'll give you a second to remember. But like
well,
that
here's
actually
another thing.
happens
Henry
in
Cavill,
fucking who? Sorry?
Henry Cavill, the guy that plays Superman, he's a huge Warhammer guy, which is a pretty much the similar thing to like D&D, but with like Space Marines. And like
Space Marines. Okay.
and there's already like stories and stuff built and different
There's
factions
video
and,
games that even play
yeah, and
into
there's
the
even
lore.
yeah,
Like
it's honestly
Warhammer
kind of
runs
sick,
deep.
dude. But
And
he's super into that, bro. And when people found
there's
out about that, they're like, "Wait, you mean fucking Superman is into this? What the fuck?"
there's a lot of
But
D&D
like
fans out
nowadays,
there.
bro, like people don't even fucking care, dude. Half the fucking NBA and shit are watching like anime and stuff now.
It's true. I mean, these are the kids that grew up on Toonami,
Dragon Ball Z, bro, and
you
Toonami,
know?
dude. Fucking
But
Inuyasha.
this is
That was
interesting.
another.
Famous D&D players include actors Joe Manganiello.
I think
I
that's the
don't
guy I was thinking of.
You got Matthew Lillard, Deborah
Hmm.
Ann Wool, Stephen Colbert, Vin Diesel, John Favreau, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Judy Dench, Mike Myers, Aubrey Plaza, Dan Harmon, um, Ben Affleck, Patton Oswalt, Anderson Cooper, Elon Musk. One of my favorite ones I'm seeing in here for athletes, Terry Crews.
Oh, dude, I could see Terry Crews 100% doing
I
that shit,
I
dude.
want to hear the D&D campaign with Terry Crews in it. That has to be incredible. He's got to be one of the funniest people to play
And
some
the
D&D
cool thing
with.
about it too is you could literally play it over Zoom if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah.
That's like how my sister and my brother used to play with my cousin who lived in Arizona. He'd zoom in, and then they'd all just meet up at like my brother or my sister's house and just play. Well, he's just zooming in on the fucking laptop.
The
And he
D&D
just he'd sit there with
podcast.
his book and his dice, at his pad.
Like that's how that D&D podcast my buddy is into even started, was during COVID, and how do we keep our D&D game going during social distancing? And they were like, yo, we can still play D&D over Zoom. And so they just get on a Zoom call and keep their campaign running. And they're like, well, fuck, we could just record the Zoom. And then we can just, make a podcast out of it. Let other D&D fans hear our story. And thus, it is born.
Like I've seen some clips of like the podcast. I guess it's kind of a podcast, but the D&D campaigns that my sister watch, and the people are actually pretty entertaining, bro, because they're fucking invested,
They're
bro.
about
Like
it, right?
they're about it. They're doing voices, they're cracking jokes, they're asking crazy questions like Sean, like, can I do this? Or like, what if I did this? And then you could see the fucking DM sometimes being like, oh no, like this is either going to end up being real bad, or it can go down a wild path.
I'm all for going down the wild path. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be down to fucking do like a small campaign with a good group of friends that were like down to actually like, play and not be like
Not
about it. You
half-ass
know
it,
what I
like
mean?
actually give it a go,
Yeah.
give it a college
Like
try.
actually, yeah, give it the old college try and actually, you know what I mean? 'Cause it could be a lot of fun, dude.
I especially think because like obviously where you can craft the story, right? Like if you have
And
enough
it doesn't
like-minded
have to be,
individuals,
and this is the thing too, is that people don't understand, is it doesn't have to be like medieval orcs, elves, and fucking dragons and shit. You can make your campaign whatever you want. You could be uh like set in like a Fallout scenario where you're like on this fucking post-apocalyptic fucking planet and you've got to fucking survive or fucking see if you could find surviving. You could literally make whatever fucking story you want, create whatever fucking characters you want. As long as like, you keep it within whatever your lore is for that specific campaign. You can do whatever, dude.
you
You know what I
could be
mean?
time travelers from another dimension.
You could be a talking fucking horse if you want to. You know what I mean?
Mr. Ed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's another move I would pull. I'm gonna be this random talking animal. I'm the talking horse, and every time somebody gets on me to ride me, I'm like, "Ooh, daddy!" Make everything super awkward for a minute. Everybody just finally gets tired of my shit and puts me down.
Like to
Like
the
we had
glue
enough.
factory, boy.
Because, dude,
We
that's
had
the even
enough of the
funny
talking
part, bro.
horse.
Because that you might, because depending on like what's going on, there like they can have like curses that happen to you to where you end up getting cursed to where it's like throughout the rest of the game you may have to like say a certain phrase at the end of whatever sentence you say, or may have to fucking speak in a certain accent for the rest of the campaign until you find a cure for the curse or whatever. And that's a side mission on the main mission. Otherwise you may be stuck fucking speaking like you know an idiot for the rest of the fucking thing. You know what I mean? That's what I kind of like about that. The ones that my sister watch is like they do stuff like that where it's like they'll like literally get into it where it's like they'll stick with the fucking lines and or the fucking voice or whatever they're doing and like really play it out to where it actually makes it not only entertaining to watch, but I can only imagine how much fun it would be to be like part of it as it's happening. You know what I mean? Being able to maybe contribute to a little bit to it, or even just witness it firsthand. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
getting the real time laugh as your friend has to do something ridiculous because that's the curse they're struck with. That's definitely a good feeling. Like you have to cluck like a chicken after every sentence. Like, ah, shit, peacock.
Dude, that actually like reminds me of like playing drinking games.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like some kings or some shit.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
the part of
dude.
it too, is you could sit there and have some drinks while you're playing, smoke some dubs, take a couple dabs while you're sitting there playing your campaign, bro, and just have a fucking party of it, dude.
Have a time.
Have
It's
all the
like
snacks.
it's like a LAN party without a
Oh,
computer, man.
dude, I said
Crazy,
snacks,
bro.
bro, and I just fucking something just fucking flashed in my brain, dudes. Have you guys seen? I fucking should have bought them. I didn't because I didn't want to eat them at the moment. Trolleys came out with a Mountain Dew collab.
Yeah. That was part of the whole deal. We get the Mountain Dew trolley flavored soda and Mountain Dew flavored trolley worms.
Yeah, I've seen the worms, but I didn't
I
buy
have
them.
not seen them yet, and that is exciting to
I
know that you
saw
have
them at
already seen them in the wild.
I seen them at the 7-Eleven today. I might on it. I probably might, or not today, yesterday. I might go back tomorrow and grab some just to try it. There's only 3 flavors.
Yeah. It's the
It's
classic
like the
Mountain Dew
cherry
with
Mountain Dew.
their
Yeah, it's like the cherry, regular, citrus, and then one other one. I forgot what the other one was. But they look tasty.
I mean, there's no way it's going to be bad. What is going to be bad is the fact that they've continued to use an advertisement for this collaboration that shows a bottle of Mountain Dew that in no way indicates it's going to be sugar free, and yet everything is saying that it's going to be only a sugar free version. And I know that this is going to be a very bad situation when people didn't read into it, find out that there isn't a sugar version.
That
And I'm
actually
still
makes
blown away.
no sense. Anyways.
Yeah.
I know. I'm still crossing my fingers, hoping that this is some bad information, but multiple sources, including a source that is for like convenience store retailers, their news bulletins also has said that it is only sugar free. They're not talking about any sugar version. This is going to be sugar free only, and that just still baffles me if that is really the decision being made.
Like we're literally going to do a collab with a candy company and make it sugar free.
Yeah,
Like what the actual fuck?
like it's not April. This isn't a joke.
Right.
Like that's the thing that boggles my mind. Because I will buy it. I will buy one. I will totally try it. I want to know what it tastes like. Um, but I also know that it's not going to taste like it should because it's going to have that sugar-free, aspartame, whatever the product is that they use flavor that's just slightly off-putting. And so it's a bummer. It's a real bummer. But
It's just gonna like prove the point that literally anyone can miss.
yeah,
Because
like
like
this,
you think that Mountain Dew could miss, but clearly they might have that in them.
I mean, I still haven't tried the melon one. I haven't seen it yet, even though
Which
it's
one?
allegedly it's out.
Is it like the honeydew melon one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm out.
Oh, I wouldn't try that.
This is what's fucked up, right?
But I just don't like that flavor. There's probably a lot of people that do.
Yeah.
There are apparently because it's one of their top sellers in Canada.
You know what? I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, it apparently it is such a popular flavor in the Canadian market that they were like, "Fuck it, let's try it in the U.S. market." And so they've released it to the U.S. market. And I've yet to try it because I don't like honeydew melon, so I can't fathom liking a honeydew Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
But on the flip of that, I'm also on that bandwagon of it's a couple bucks. I'll buy it to try it. If I don't like it, I'll still force it down. You know what I mean? Like it's still a deal.
Plus, like you have the option of saying honey do. I mean,
You
that's
know?
kind of cool.
Like I just want to be like, yeah, I tried the honeydew. It wasn't for me. It tastes like yuck. You know, like I want to be able to actually say I tried it, and that's just about all it is. Yeah, the snack news is quieting down because we're hitting the seasons. So like right now, everybody's pumpkin flavors are dropping. The time I record this,
Yeah,
it's the
I'm
end of
starting to see
August.
advertisements.
I
Yeah.
saw so many pumpkin shit. So much
Dude.
pumpkin shit when I was at Walmart a week or two ago.
All of the Little Debbie pumpkin stuff is out. All of it.
Dude, they did all kinds of weird pumpkin stuff this time around too that I saw that I was just like, what?
Yeah,
Trying to think
dude,
of what off the
pumpkin
top.
cream pies.
Yeah.
They made the oatmeal cream pie with a pumpkin cream filling. Like they are beating the cream pie sandwich thing to death.
Yeah, they're doing it to everything now.
Literally everything. It's wild. But yeah, now they got a pumpkin one. Yep. I miss the apple cinnamon smile. Like they do the pumpkin ones, like the weird like pumpkin pie filling inside. They used to make an apple one. I haven't seen that in ages.
I don't even know what those are.
Oh man. The Little Debbie pumpkin smile. Hold on.
Yeah, I've never seen those. They sound fire though.
I think you would fuck with them knowing that you do like pumpkin like that.
Dude, I
Uh,
just fucking like pumpkin pie, bro. That fucks with well that and I do like pumpkin spice cream in my coffee. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's just something about it, dude. I'm a basic white bitch. What can I say?
he's a PSL man. Yeah,
Honestly,
pumpkin
pumpkin spice
delights.
lattes. Yeah, dude, never seen those. Never seen those.
Yeah, they're out right now, and I think you might fuck with these. Doesn't you got this guy now too?
Yeah, those I seen those. I
Pumpkin
almost bought
spice
them, but I
roll.
didn't. Those honestly look pretty fire, bro. I'm not gonna
Like
lie to you.
I've had a handful of the rolls like this that they've made.
Dude,
Like the Boston cream one is
dude,
is a banger. There's so many other
honestly,
ones.
bro, I feel like pumpkin's a slept on ingredient for like breads, muffins, cakes.
Bro,
Because, dude,
even pumpkin delight ice cream from
okay,
Little Debbie
that I
right
might
now.
fucking, I might fuck with. But, dude, my aunt makes these pumpkin loaves, bro. Dude, they are so fucking good, dude. It's like banana bread, but obviously pumpkin. And it tastes like, pumpkin pie, but banana bread form. And dude, it's so good. And then my
My grandmother used to
sister-in-law
do that.
makes
Oh,
these pumpkin cookies, bro, that are like almost kind of like cakey cookies. And then she puts like a fucking cream cheese fucking frosting on it, dude.
all right. I'm
I
coming
could
back with the
fuck up
Little
a
Debbie's
bunch of them.
because like they literally did go ham on the pumpkin shit this year. I mean, obviously not pumpkin flavored, but you're gonna go with some brownie
Yeah,
pumpkins. But
yeah, I seen names.
we saw the pumpkin spice roll,
Dude,
but
yeah, those I didn't see. Are they
that
powdered?
it looks like it's a white powdered donut with a pumpkin spice flavored
That
cake.
might be fire, dude, because a pumpkin
That
donut,
probably
fuck,
slaps.
bro.
I mean, that's basically what you're talking about, having like the pumpkin bread.
Yeah.
Like that's
As long
almost
as
the
it's
same
moist,
idea.
bro. Because one thing about those little Debbie donuts, bro,
Oh
is
yeah.
sometimes, dude. Oh, see, I'd fuck with those, bro.
So you
I'd
want
fuck
moist?
with
There you
those
go.
heavy, dude.
Pumpkin spice mini
Honestly, I've
muffs.
had those and they're delicious. Now that I think about it, because I had some last year and they were the shit.
And then of course, if you want, you can just make your house smell like
Oh,
Little
dude,
Debbie pumpkin
I'd
delights.
honestly, you could send one of those my way.
I have a rule in my house: no candles that have food flavors.
Why's that?
For one, I find that the artificial food flavors in most candles are kind of gross. They don't smell anything like they should. They just kind of smell gross. And for two, when they do smell good, nobody likes to get their hopes up for nothing.
Oh, dude,
You come in
I'll
your
tell you,
house and you smell apple pie and you're like, yo, somebody baked
bro,
an apple pie. You come upstairs and it's just a
Chris,
fucking candle.
Sean, my entire life, bro. My entire life, dude. My mom is a big was apple cinnamon candles, bro, were always in my house, dude.
That's the candle that I made that rule because there's so many that smell disgusting.
But
And then, like
dude,
I said,
there's
the ones
some
that smell
though.
good,
Dude,
now I'm mad.
The Yankee one, bro.
I know.
So good, dude. Smells like fresh apple pie just right out the oven, dude. It's like,
I come
oh, I
walking in
want
like,
it.
yo, somebody made a pie. No, it's that
And
goddamn
here's the
candle
thing.
again.
I'm not even a huge apple pie guy.
But it
It's
smells
okay.
good.
But oh yeah, it smells. But dude, I do like a good baked cinnamon apple though, dude. Even if it's not necessarily in a pie, just like, you know,
Just baked
chopped or
cinnamon
cubed
apples.
cinnamon apples, bro. I could fucks with those.
I mean, I'm the kind of monster that would buy the half apple pie and just eat it to my face.
Oh, dude, I buy a whole pumpkin pie and eat it to my face, bro.
In the one
Dude,
sitting. Or
Speaking
do you
of,
at least control
oh
yourself with
no,
a whole pie?
oh no, sometimes I can do it in one sitting, but
So
other
yeah, because
time,
I'm disgusting and will
I
kill the whole half pie, and I'm like,
oh yeah, I cut it into. I literally will take a full pumpkin pie and I cut it into quarters, bro, and I eat a quarter at a time. That way I pace myself because, dude, a little sliver is never enough, bro.
no,
It's never enough to create the like to fucking you know
hit the mark. Yeah.
hit the yeah like I that and dude, honestly, I use an absurd amount of whipped cream. It's not just a little. Psh, no, dude. I'm like, I trace the fucking thing, go across, and then build it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a fucking mound of whipped cream on top of my
It,
slice of
it's
pie,
it's
bro.
as much whipped cream as it is pie.
Oh yeah, dude. There's a slice of whipped cream pie on top of my pie.
I mean,
Definitely.
that sounds like a pumpkin cream pie is just the move for you, man.
Dude, honestly, I don't know what it is about just fucking whip like a real like thick, creamy whipped cream. And I'm talking about whip, not Cool Whip.
No, like
I want
real
a whipped
whipped
cream
cream.
out the fucking, fucking canned. I need it,
I mean,
dude. I'll literally sit there and eat just that shit out the can, bro. I don't.
have
It's
you
so
have
good.
you experienced the flavored whipped creams they do
Oh
now?
yeah, my mom is. Let me tell you this: when it comes to whipped creams and like all that stuff, dude, it was my mom has converted an old entertainment center into a coffee bar. So it's got our fucking coffee maker, our coffee grinder, uh, of this little fucking stand that's got the fucking little pump guys with all kinds of different little flavor shots. You know what I'm saying? She's got different other different things that are like some honey, different, sweeteners, that sort of thing. And then the mini fridge right next to it, you pop it open, and on the door, there's three different kinds of whipped cream. You got your standard, your mint, your peppermint, and then your chocolate. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? Along with whatever kind of creamer you may want. There's usually like at least 1 to 2 different flavors. If it's pumpkin season, guaranteed there's a pumpkin spice one in there because my mom loves me and she makes sure that we're stocked. Um, but other than that, it's usually like a French vanilla or a peppermint mocha of some sort.
all solid combos, especially in this time of year.
I'm for me, my go-tos are French vanilla, pumpkin spice. That's really all I mess with. But if I have to, I will do just a regular cream. You know what I mean? It's not my preferred, but I will do it. I'm not a hazelnut guy, not big into the peppermint mocha really. Um,
Bro, I have a caramel
there's a
cream
couple
I
other ones.
drink
Oh,
that I
caramel.
like.
I'll do that. I'll do like a caramel macchiato sort of situation, or just like a caramel sort of thing. Dude, honestly, I've even gotten to the point where I don't put sugar in my coffee anymore. I just put like a little squirt or two of raw honey in it. And dude, it's pretty nice. Not only that, honey's good for you. Lubricates the old vocal cords as well.
Also, if you have local honey, it helps you with like not getting sick.
Well, I don't know if we're getting local honey, but we're getting natural, just organic raw honey. You know.
I'm sure that it probably would still help you in that respect too.
Oh yeah,
Just maybe not the same.
yeah,
It's
But
definitely.
it's
either way,
also a natural antiseptic. So like it can disinfect cuts and burns, which I think is really cool.
And it's
But
tasty.
But with all of that, folks, we are at the end of our time. So if you do end up wearing your honey as a natural antiseptic, stay away from the bees, y'all. They're gonna get you.
And
But
the
with that,
bears.
and the Bears,
yeah,
yeah.
and the bears will get you. But with that, you know what we do around here. I'm gonna send it on over to Uncle Chris to start bringing it home.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. As always, check us out, shedtimepodcast.com. Leave a review anywhere you can, or whatever ratings or pimp our shit. That'd be awesome. However you want to do it, we will 100% love it. Check us out Friday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Frames Check the Vapors YouTube channel for the Green Room. And I think that that's everything for me. So I'm just going to say, everybody have a good week and live your best life, and then pass it to James.
As always, I'm gonna do it as I always do it by sending out a huge shout out to all the Shedheads for you guys' continuous support. I greatly appreciate you guys. Chris covered all the bases on where you can find us and all the good stuff. Make sure you're leaving those 5-star reviews, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Other than that, I'm ended as I always do, sending out positive vibes. Chris by fives. Don't forget to tell somebody you love them, and a little bag or dab will do ya.
That's right, friends. And of course, ShedtimePodcast.com has links for everything, the Patreon, the merch store, the Frames Jankling Vapor channel, and so much more. So with that, I'm going to tell you, don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick, and whatever it is that you do, try and have some fun, because it's the Shedtime Podcast, and it's time to blow one up and blow one out. All right.